We're good to go.
Thanks, sir. All right, everybody. My name is Frank Hackett. This is Wire IT Bytes. Quick background about myself. I'm on the MSP side, on the IT, and cutting over to security and bringing security to the IT folks. Kind of where this talk came from and how it fits in. So without a doubt, very first thing, I want to give a huge thank you to everyone involved with DerbyCon. This is a phenomenal conference. We really are family here. It's a great time. So hats off to everyone who helped out, except the guy in the green in the back. So I am part of Hyatt Society. We've got a huge turnout here this year. We've had a lot of people speaking. It's been great. It's a great think tank. If you're looking to get involved with something, come find some of us, hit us up. We'll get you in.
How did you get into a think tank?
I got lucky.
You wore a skirt and they needed a secretary.
Pretty much. I keep notes. Oh, hey, only snitches long. So, myself, I'm a security consultant. I'm currently a senior systems engineer for a managed service provider. Senior rookie under Joe McCrae. Again, if you're looking to learn some of the stuff, Papa Joe's program. It's phenomenal. He will work you to the bone. He will call you up at 3 a.m. going, hey, I need this done in the next 30 minutes. But it works. Then again, Hyatt Society, can't say enough about those guys. So why your IT Bytes? Look, we're basically all security people here, so this is kind of preaching to the choir in a way. But I think there's some good material here. We're going to go over the stuff. You know, we know IT can't get the job done on their own. That's why we're here. That's why we have jobs. We're going to go over some of the major differences and some of the similarities. We can help each other out. The biggest thing that I found, IT is going to drive your organization. If you don't have email, you know, no one's working. If you don't have your big data, it's horrible. You know, God forbid. So yeah, if we didn't have the IT professionals, we wouldn't have us. We wouldn't need security. We wouldn't have networks to secure. And you know what? That would suck. You know, I would hate to think you couldn't do security because it's fun. So without a doubt, let's give thank you to all the tremendous IT people, the network engineers, the admins, the devs, and the senior systems engineers, because God knows we can mess up some stuff. You know, but it works hand in hand. So if you're looking at IT, IT is the yes man of the organization. No one calls the help desk with a problem and accepts that it can't be fixed. No one wants a project deployed that can't be done. You know, you need that tablet on the network, you're the C-level, IT's going to do it for you, guaranteed. Security is going to say no. But IT's going to go, yeah, you can write my check. I'll absolutely do whatever you need. You know, VPN access from Iran, sure. Why not? What could possibly go wrong? I love this picture. So yeah, you know, what's the big deal? IT doesn't see it. They're like, well, that's security. Why do you keep pounding this into my head? Why? Well, you know, we need it. We've got to protect the organization. We've got to work together. IT will come back and go, hey, look, that's an acceptable risk. Well, nothing's ever an acceptable risk, right? I think that's something pretty much everyone in here would agree. If there's a risk, we need to eliminate it, mitigate it somehow. IT, God knows they want the Java. The users want Java. Security doesn't. So just, you know, a couple quick differences. IT gets scared of us. You know, and I love this graphic. If you guys haven't seen Security Reactions Tumblr, check it out. It's hilarious. You can easily spend an hour just laughing. But yeah, you know, IT waiting for the audit to begin. I think that says it beautifully. You know, pen testers in the room, when you walk in, does the IT department ever go, oh good, security's here again. They're going to tell me everything that's wrong. You know, has that ever happened to anybody? No. Yeah, it doesn't happen. So now you look on the InfoSec side. Security thinks your baby's ugly. We don't ever get to say it enough, or to the extent that we want to, but that's what it is. You know, we're going to tell IT, you got to fix X, Y, and Z. This has to be done. The bottom truth is we think your baby's really ugly. You know, we can't say that, otherwise we would lose our job most likely. You know, that's the cold, honest truth. What's that? I didn't say it. All right, so then you can look at some of the differences on the InfoSec side. We prance around with IT, don't we? It's, oh my God, you're new. Why would you click that? You know, you didn't win the lottery and wherever. You know, and you probably don't need Java on a day-to-day basis. We can get around that. It is what it is. I was this guy. When I first got involved in this stuff, you know, I had my firewall. I said, I can't get hacked. I got a firewall, baby. Well, hey, check this dog out. Because it had a firewall too, and oh yeah. Your network's now been breached, you know, right through the firewall. So now kind of looking at it on more of the serious side here. You got IT pros. You also have the InfoSec pros. That wasn't good. That one? Maybe?
And then we have the AV pros.
Yeah, I don't know what I just did. I'll be honest.
IT's messing.
Not well. There we go. All right, let's try this again. You got this middle ground right here. We mesh together. You know, we work in the same organizations. We're hired by the same organizations. And it seems like so many of the times we just butt heads. And I don't think that needs to be the case. I don't think that should be the case. You look at these mission statements. So, you know, University of Florida's IT security team. Make it safe, make it good, make it better for the faculty and for the students. Here's WCU's IT mission statement. It says the exact same thing. So here's an IT statement and a security statement. They have the same goals. It's kind of amazing, right? But yet, we butt heads. We fight each other. We call each other dumb, stupid. You know, why would you do that? Guess what? At the end of the day, we want to protect the data. We want to protect the users. We want to protect the organization. No matter if you're on that IT side or the security side, you've got the same goal in the long run. You know, we all want to stay employed. No one wants to get popped. No one wants to see anyone get popped. And then lastly, we want to keep the hackers out. That's actually my friend's dog, not for nothing. So yeah, it's the same goals. So with that, you know, we're going to start building some common ground within the organization. So you start with a solid IT. If you don't have a network, you can't make it secure. That's just how it goes. Once you get that network, you can secure the damn thing, and you probably should. And guess what? If you hit these first two, you got happy and safe users. The organization is making money. Our data is protected. Everyone's doing better. IT doesn't know a lot of this stuff. And this is where they get shot in the foot, in my opinion. I've seen it coming from my IT background. They don't know what the malware is really doing. They don't know how to look at the malware to see what it's doing. You know, they just see, oh, they've got, you know, Windows AV 2015. Let me get rid of this, and the box is clean. They don't know that maybe that was just a dropper as a distraction. You know, the network security architecture there is definitely not there on the IT side. I think everyone here would probably agree with that. Passwords. You would think a group of computer people, the professional computer people, would know I should have good passwords. IT doesn't. IT's working as fast as they can. That's all they care about. You know, they're the yes man organization. If you've got 150 printers, if they need to get in to adjust something, I almost guarantee you're going to have the same password for every printer. If it's been changed from the default, which probably has 9 times out of 10, right? IT doesn't know how to say that. It's not their job. You know, that's where security steps in and goes, you know, maybe we should think about this. Because, yeah, you're just adding a tablet, but what other risks are you bringing onto our network by adding that tablet? IT, they won't save you. All the blinky boxes you want, do they make any difference?
Never.
Yeah, you can't have enough, right? You can have racks and racks and everything you want. Have Christmas lights year-round. It's not going to help. You know, patching's not enough. And then lastly, IT, you know, that's an acceptable risk. That should never be used in the same sentence, just how it is. On the patching side, you've got new vulnerabilities being found every day. There's been several O-days dropped here in Derby. You know, you can't patch against that stuff. You've got to train, you've got to have the user awareness there. You know, and again, yeah, with the vulnerabilities, IT can't save you from that stuff. You know, it's hard for us as InfoSec people to keep up with it sometimes. You know, you could have 25 new vulns come out and it's, oh my God, I just got done fixing everything, now I got to go back and fix everything again. You know, it's a changing game. IT already has too much to do. You've got to work with them. You know, if you're just butting heads, you're going to add to the workload. Your stuff's going to get dropped in priority list without a doubt. You need to educate the IT department. This is something that I've done a lot of with my current company, just working with the various engineers. They're all smart people. They're all computer geeks. You know, we all go home, play our games, do whatever. Stop talking down to them. No one wants to be yelled at. No one wants to be talked down to. You got to work with them. You've got to expose them to the new ideas and the solutions that are out there. Because the way that we approach problems are going to be different than the way that they approach the problem. Something that I found that has worked very well for me, instead of just going, look, this is vulnerable to MS-0867, patch it, fix it. Actually show them, this is what this is. This is how it works. This is my system shell because of this. You know, show them what you can do with that system shell. I've shown that to a couple of guys at my shop, and it was, holy crap. You know, it's not just a red tick anymore on that Nessus report. This actually means something to me now. I didn't know that was this powerful. Audit the IT department. You know, look at how they're doing things. Explain to them what they found, or what you found in that audit, and what you've got to get corrected. With my company, we started talking about the idea of, hey, let's start selling some pen tests, some audits, things of that nature. I said, that's great. We got to have it first. So I came back and literally had a list within the first hour of like 27 lines that needed to be fixed. And that took 6 months. Now, it's a process. And that was mostly internal policies and ways we did things that had to get changed. You know, the idea that security costs you a ton of money, it doesn't. We have open source out there. Half the time, just reviewing, you know, the ACLs for file permissions saves you a lot of headaches right there. And again, with IT, you don't really want to train them. You know, you want to kind of demonstrate. You want to show it to them. Give them that hands-on. Because again, we're all computer geeks. You know, Relic said it best. That's what we are. You know, we get new hardware and we're like a kid on Christmas going, oh my God, look at this thing. This is awesome. You got to work together. The communication is key. It's always going to be key. You know, stop fighting with each other and work together. And it's frustrating. I've been on both sides of it. I've had the security guy come to me and go, why would you deploy this way? This is weak. Here's why it's weak. Rip this off the network and start over again. Didn't really help me fix it. He just said, you're stupid, go away. And I've been on the other side. I've come back to IT and, you know, as a security group and yelled at them, like, well, what is wrong with you? You know? And then can IT help security to do their job? There's a guy, and I believe he's here as well, I haven't seen him yet, named Nick Douglas at AID, and Mr. Onsi, thank you so much for AID every year, it's always a pleasure. But Nick gave this talk, Help from the Help Desk. If you haven't seen it, check it out. The ideas and concepts that he was throwing out there were really, really cool. All these links in the slides, I'll put these slides up after the talk, so if you want it, you can just go grab it really easy. But yeah, definitely check this talk out, see what he's saying. He's got some great points. Yeah.
He gives that talk tomorrow, an updated version of the talk.
Oh, is it really?
Scheduled tomorrow. Yeah.
Beautiful. So yeah, everyone go see Mick's talk tomorrow, or else.
Security group.
Yeah. So we got to work together, right? That's kind of the whole point of this talk. That's, you know, what I'm up here rambling on about, and you all are being forced to listen to at this point. So yeah, we got to secure IT from themselves. Password reuse is rampant. IT. I know where I worked, we had roughly 100 site-to-site VPNs to get us to the customers. All of our web stuff, which was like another 75 passwords in there. Guess how many different unique passwords we had used? One. Yeah, that's a huge red flag, right? The thinking behind it was, it's quick and easy, everyone knows it. Well, what do you do when someone gets fired? Well, we just change it. So you're going to change 200 passwords like that? No, it's not going to happen. You know, what are you going to change it to? How are you going to track it? Look at stuff like two-factor authentication. If IT's not using it, it should be. It's quick and easy to set up now, and it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg like it used to. I threw two suggestions on here with Duo and Wicked. They both work great. Personally, I use Duo, use it in-house, I use it on my own stuff as well. I've got Duo set up now, so all those site-to-site VPNs, we manage those firewalls. Well, now for the guys that get into firewalls, they use their AD creds plus a two-factor, boom, they're in. What that also means, if we have to fire someone or someone quits, we deactivate their AD, now I have to worry about them getting into all of our customer sites. You know, this stuff is out there and they just don't use it. Yeah, it took a couple of days to get it all set up and switched over. It was a headache, but we've reaped the rewards of it since. Your IT department should have its own policies. So without a doubt, your organization has its, your IT policy, your security policy, your acceptable use policy, whatever else you may have. Your IT people need their own, because what works for the end user isn't going to work for them because they are admins. You've got to have that administrator access. Something that I've seen that has kicked a few organizations before is how quickly can you get rid of an IT person? They've got master access to everything, right? They are root. How do you get rid of them? How do you remove them? People quit, people get fired. You've got to deal with that stuff. At the same time, for your onboarding, you hire someone brand new off the street. Yeah, they need access to do the job, but do they need full access to everything to do the job? Probably not. 9 times out of 10, it's something we've done internally as well. Not every tech needs access to everything. It's just how it goes. IT's lazy. They're lazy and they work fast and they don't have enough time to do everything. You've got to break that cycle with, they're popping out a new image, make them run all the updates prior, until that image is rolled. Just make them spend that extra 5-10 minutes to tighten things up a little bit, to go through your state, to go through whatever it may be. Just force them. And after a couple of weeks, it's habit, and they'll do it from that point on. It's great. IT wants that uptime, right? If you're passionate, you got to reboot. Find something that works. If you got load balancers, you pop that server down, bring it back up, then pop the other one. Do whatever you got to do. Find a policy that's going to work, that's going to give you uptime, keep everyone happy. Every IT company has this person. I am this person. I'll tell you that right now. Stay away from the know-it-all. There's always one out there, especially with IT, because you got some guy who will tell you, I've been doing this stuff since the 70s. Really? Yeah, exactly. Stay away from that guy. Or they got the alphabet soups and they have every cert possible after their names. I've never talked to a guy who was CCNA, CCNP. I was like, sweet, this will be quick and easy. It was a networking thing. I said, I need you to port forward 3001 to this internal IP. What? And it was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
You didn't say Cisco term.
That could have been a fact. So then your positive correlation between the strength of your IT department and the strength of your security department. If your security is beating the hell out of your IT, which happens usually, I think 9 times out of 10, that's the way it works. But your IT is going to get better because they have to go back and fix this stuff. Well, your security then is going to get better as well because that old vault doesn't work anymore. I got to find a new one. You're on the same team. Make each other better. We have the same goals, same organization. There's no reason. And for consultants, this is just as true. If you're only going to be there for a week, you can beat the hell out of them, give them a report, and move on. Or you can come back and go, hey, look, here's my report. Let's sit down and talk, and kind of go from there. Let me help you guys get better, because you're not on my page right now. Again, that pen test report is not enough. It just isn't anymore. You got to, if you're internal, work with your IT department. If you're a consultant, work with your customers. If you're not doing it, you're not doing them any justice at this point. It's like great. So yeah, we got popped again. Whatever, sweep it on the rug, move on. No one wants that. You got to work together with them. So once you start getting this stuff going, and this for me is where it's been cool. You get to relax a little bit and kind of go back and go, these guys are finally starting to catch on. Let the IT people help you. If they're building better infrastructure, you don't have some of those headaches any longer. Work smarter, not harder. You got your audit with them. You've gone over it. Revisit it. Every year, every 6 months, whatever you need to do. Make sure they're following those policies, because trust me, if IT can find a way to kind of look around and be lazy again, they will. And bottom line, some of the stuff that we do, we can turn over to them to do. Now, does anyone really just want to add snow signatures for the rest of their career? I know I don't. It's not fun. Don't tell them that some of the stuff we do isn't hard. Keep that secret with us. Now you've got them down this path of righteousness. They're going to take that back to the users. It's going to go, for me at least, it went from myself, through our IT, to the help desk, and then down to the user base. And if you watch Mick's talk and go see it tomorrow, he makes this awesome point that the help desk is already seen better than security. That's very, very true. No one sees security walk in, whether it's physical, anything. And goes, thank God security's here. Well, my day is going to be better. Right? No one likes this. It sucks, but it is what it is. So yeah, if you've got your IT department deploying better and stronger and more secure infrastructure, your job's going to be easier. You can breeze through some of the stuff that you're checking. If you get IT to the point that they're actually going back on their own to fix stuff that they now know is weak, you've done a great job. And at that point, go write some new code. You got to keep them guessing, keep them on their toes, without a doubt. So then you kind of hit the reality of this stuff. It's hard. People hate change. No one likes change. What I found for me that worked, I started with the C-level and said, hey, look, we want to sell security. We've got to have security first. I got the buy-in where I needed it, so I could start spending some time on that. Remember, people hate being told they're doing things wrong. Especially if you've got someone that's been in IT for 10, 15 years and tell them, hey, every box you've done like this, I can pop. They're not going to like you. It is what it is. And nothing's going to change overnight, and not everything will change overnight. It takes time. You've got to tighten the screw one turn at a time. If you just try to drive the nail with the hammer straight down, you're going to fail at this miserably. That's how it works. So in the way that I've kind of dealt with this is, hey, look, we're going to start using two-factor on all the routers, switches, firewalls, any kind of network device. And the first thing was, you mean it's not going to be admin and the one password? No. Just try it this way. Try it for a couple weeks. And after a couple weeks, it's already habit. That old way that was better in their opinion, they don't remember anymore. They're not looking for it. And just kind of spoon feed it, little by little, and you will get there. So yeah, and then again, everyone's human. Everyone's going to make mistakes. Don't go beating people up because of those mistakes. You're always going to have that resistance to change. You've got to deal with it without a doubt. And the kind of the end game here, we get more secure IT, it's a better help desk, then the users get better. We have a guy, And it's no mystery in my shop. I don't care for this individual. And there was one day, and I got so excited, I pretty much ran outside and just I was like, yeehaw, thank God. He had a user on the phone who had malware, and he explained to this end user the difference between a virus and a Trojan and did it perfectly. And it was like, oh my God, there's hope. This can happen. You know, and I was to the point I was getting kind of discouraged because I wasn't seeing any results. And then that happened, and I told my CEO, I said, hallelujah. You know, it's about time. You do hit that trickle-down effect. You know, the knowledge that he was spitting out to the end user had come from me and some of the documents I had given him. It happens, and it's really cool when it does. It's hard to get there, but once you kind of start getting there towards the end, it's pretty sweet to see, actually. And then remember, there's nothing wrong with improving the skills of a coworker. You know, people like careers. People like to change. You know, they take new jobs, new career paths. So yeah, so you got to avoid the know-it-all. You know, IT can't save you and they won't. You have to have security. But if you start working with your IT department, in my opinion, you're going to be a lot better off than just fighting them. You know, they can definitely make your job easier. And lastly, don't be that guy or that gal. Don't be the know-it-all. Because you don't know it all. I don't know it all. No one does. There's new stuff being discovered every day, new research being done. So really, guys, that's about it. The last time I gave this talk, we had a cool discussion with it. So if anyone's got anything to say, throw it all up. If you want to contact me, there's all my docs. Made it easy for Prime to release them later. So yeah, if you got anything, throw it all up. Yes, sir.
What would you say, like, I don't have a security department, nor do I have the budget for it yet, but I want to teach my guys some of the stuff that you're putting out here, and some of the things I've learned at DerbyCon. I would argue that we're not lazy, but we're, you know, ADD.
Right.
As opposed to lazy. You just, you know, can't concentrate on something long enough to make it secure.
Right.
What?
So.
What is security? So
yeah, so
what advice would you have for somebody like me, where I'm the operations manager?
Right, so you want to start getting like the security bug in your guys basically, and have them start thinking about things maybe a little bit different.
Yeah.
We have this awesome thing called YouTube, where all these videos are going to be.
Security tube.
Yeah, security tube as well, which is tremendous. That literally has every con ever. Pick out a couple that are, because some of these talks are dull and boring, some are great, mine always suck. Pick out a couple and say, hey, look, I'll buy you guys lunch today. Let's watch this video. Tell me what you guys think about it. You catch that little bit of interest, you know, it starts rolling. That's how I got into it. That's how I've gotten other people into it.
Right now, we just have consultants come in. You know, being top dog, it's going to be easy enough for me to say, no, okay, to do this, but
right.
I'd like having them lift me rather than, you know, fighting.
I would start kind of introducing them to some of the stuff, and really, some of those videos may be the best way. There's a great one that Jason Street does with fishing. I guarantee if they watch that, they'll get really excited about the stuff really quick.
Where are you located at?
We're in St. Louis.
Okay. Try to get in with the local security professionals in that area. Have them come in as guest speakers. If you feed them, they will come. A lot of times you don't have to pay them.
That's a great point.
Buy them a pizza and it costs you $10 and they'll come talk to
I would not for St. Louis isn't that far for you to drive to go down, you know.
Yeah.
I would volunteer a couple hours every day to kind of talk to them.
Yeah, just start feeding it to them one way or another, and they're going to get interested. Because this stuff's fun. I mean, bottom line, it's cool to be a hacker, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Can you talk about management buy-in? What's your best practice for getting management buy-in? How hard is that?
So the way that I approached it, and granted, I'm in like a 10-man shop, so not as corporate structured as it could be. I showed the need for security. It actually worked out at 8 this year. We had to let a guy go. And this was right as I was hitting them up with passwords going, this has got to change. And so they called me up and said, hey, we just fired so-and-so. That's awesome. What do you want me to do about it? I'm at a conference. I said, start changing passwords because people didn't want to listen. And it took something like that to, hey, maybe we should have some password management. For us, the size that we are, now we're using LastPass. It was $24 per person per year. I think we spent, like 300 total on it, essentially, 240. And it works great for what we need.
KeyPass is good too.
Well, KeyPass, yeah, and we had kind of used KeyPass. The reason why I wanted LastPass is so we could set some basic permissions.
Sure.
Because I don't need the accounting stuff. And likewise, our junior techs don't need some of the admin stuff that I do.
Yep.
Again, KeyPass is great as well. Yeah, you've got to show the need to the C-level, to your boss, to get that buy-in. Show them how it can affect you. Hey, if we get popped, X, Y, and Z is going to happen. For us, if we got popped, hey, that's 100 other networks that you can just pivot right into because there's a VPN. You're good to go. Yep.
A recommendation that they can send to a con or something local, or because there's a whole list of chances are there's something they can do.
The St. Louis ISSA chapter is one of the largest ISSA chapters in the country.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's what we look for B-side events. B-side events are
Yeah, you said St. Louis is just like what? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
This is my first time.
Well, you're basically kind of getting into it first. That's the way to do it. Just start feeding little by little. And they're eating right up, guaranteed.
I'm not sure, my guys are on the road nationwide, so my guys are
Right.
on the road a lot. I'm not trying to get them to go to a con like this,
Right.
but,
Even sending out an email going, hey, this talk is pretty cool. You might want to check it out. Here's what it's about. Yes, Mr.
Yes,
Robinson.
one more thing I would say is that you're not going to go, this is a process, it's a journey. You're not going to wake up one day and be secure. Hell, you'll never be secure.
Yeah.
You just take it one step at a time.
Yeah, tighten the screw one turn at a time. Don't try to drive that nail in because it's going to blow up in your face. Yeah, anything else? Yes, sir.
Maybe your experience has been a little different than mine, but it's having been the admin and then gone to security, I would say that it's easy to say that the folks who keep the network up and running are lazy because they don't secure their stuff. But the reality is that they have a different mission, right? Theirs is uptime.
Right, yeah.
So, and they're going to, drop the equipment, rack it, stack it, turn it on, set the permissions to whatever will work, and then they'll walk away because they have other stuff to do.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. But at the same time, if you get them to spend that extra 5 minutes, change the default password on that printer.
absolutely. But that's where the education piece comes in that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So.
The availability, one simple word means 2 completely different things.
Yeah. Well, we have the end game goals are the same, but the day-to-day goals are completely different. Absolutely.
And you have to show them why you want to change.
Right.
Well, yeah, you gotta show them and that's what I've done, demonstrated. This is what MSO 867 really does. Here's a system shell. And the one guy that looked at me goes, what's a system shell? Here, look, I can do this. I just created a user, that's bad.
From my point of view, my guys are going to be easier to convince than management.
What's that?
My guys will be easier to convince than management. My boss gets security, he's actually here with me.
That's excellent.
But the president of the company, the argument of security versus usability.
Well, and
It's hard with them.
that's an extremely fine line, and the security people always go, well, we can have a couple extra steps, where the users go, this slows me down, now I can't make money.
Right.
We hit the same type deal, so our VPN, I switched to the 2-factor. We use duo security. You can push the request to your cell phone if you want. You don't have to use your token. Let it just go, yeah, let me in. When I first implemented that, because we had a PPTP set up, which PPTP is awesome. Yeah, right? Yeah, how great was that? So yeah, the SSL VPN, oh, so nice. But it was just, before I could just click, connect, My password never expired. So yeah, your password expires now. Our director of business development is on a mission to get his password to never expire. He can't, I don't know, he's retarded. He can't figure out where I hid the group policies to prevent that. Yeah. Yeah, he also never locks his workstations, and he comes back to a lot of really inappropriate pictures on there.
Pink uniform guy.
Yeah.
That's the best one to put up. We've been doing it to everybody. And we have our managers in our company in other departments do it to each other now.
We have to get it for Dave too, if you need a copy of that.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. It's beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Working with engineers, being on security, one of the best things is build that relationship with our engineers. They used to be on engineer roof. It's basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can shoot an email, message them, say, hey guys, this is what we're doing. We do all our transactions through theirs. I can go downstairs, I say, hey guys, face to face, go meet them, have lunch, or whatever. I've realized that about it, there's like but they're smart guys.
Well, yeah, they're just as smart as us. Yeah.
And they're very reasonable most of the time.
Well, and there's a difference of being told this is wrong and being shown and demonstrated, hey, maybe we can do this a different way and it'll make it better for reasons X, Y, and Z. Yeah, you can't be your email always. Yeah, buy them lunch. They'll love you for it. Yes, sir.
You were saying, like, engineers, et cetera, like, they come to set up and then so speak. So if you're going to show them these things, surely if you provide them with a set of scripts, say, hey, you set up a new server, just run this shit against it. If it starts screaming, if it's something you show them back, then you need to fix it and it's going to be good with that. That's, it's a bit more work for you up front, but then you can be lazy. You don't have to.
Well, yeah, and with like deploying the new infrastructure, you should have your state. And they should be deploying that per your state, per your company policies. I can see you're saying come back and check it. Right. Yeah, I'll come back later and check it, and later never happens. Yeah. Well, the other thing that I did as well was showing my boss going, hey, look, I realize us taking an extra 5-10 minutes to do this stuff. You know what, that engineer, because we're an MSP, so they're working on 10 different customers at once usually, right? So now they have to work on 8 at once instead of 10, but we're doing better quality work. So when we go out to a new customer now, we do X, Y, and Z by default. We're making you more secure by us just coming in here and taking care of you guys. And so that helped that definitely helped with the C-level buy-in as well. Anytime they're making more money, they're happy. Yeah, anyone else? Are we good? Well, thanks guys, I appreciate it.